Good afternoon once again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm Mrs. Temilole Son. Um, I work in a tertiary institution, and as you all know, that a tertiary institution contains many units and departments. So I'm in the S center unit of my workplace, the tertiary institution where I work. So I have come to interview the medical personnel, two out of the medical personnel in the health center department, and we are talking about the topics hypertension and hypertension, the causes, the cure, how it can be managed, is it curable, how it can be kept under control. So the first person that I'm going to interview is Mr. Adekunle. He's the chief nursing officer of health center unit. So I hope this will be of help to you. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, madam.
Please, sir, could you introduce yourself?
My name is Akim Adekunle.
Sir.
I am the chief nursing officer at the Health Center of Hospital in Osun State.
Yes, sir. Please, I want you to do justice to this. I know that there are two topics, but some people could serve as confusion to some people. The word hypertension and hypotension. So I want you to do justice to the two topics. What is the difference between the ailments, hypertension and hypotension?
Thank you very much. Uh, as I used to say, people will say hypertension is the increase in the blood pressure. But I want to tell people that you cannot just say somebody is hypertensive by checking the BP for the first time and you say he's having hypertension. No. Hypertension means persistent increase in the blood pressure. Because if you check for the first time and the BP increase, there may be a psychological or mental problem that arises at that particular time that increase that blood pressure. But when it becomes persistent, that you check it over and over and you see maybe about 3 or 4 times, it's just the same thing as the BP is becoming higher and higher, then one can say the person is having hypertension. And the hypertension that we need to say is the increase in the blood pressure. So when there is increase in the blood pressure, it indicates, because this is the way we can say that that people will understand very well. It indicates there is problem with the heart. It's just like if you have a water pump that pumps water, but it pumps water through the pipe into the tank, and that pipe is being blocked. Maybe half of it is being blocked. Definitely, there will be problem for the pumping machine to pump the water inside that pipe. So definitely, the more the decrease in the flow of water, the more the problem for the pumping machine. So it's just the same thing as the heart. So if there is problem with the heart, for example, somebody who is having more cholesterol, the deposit of fat in the blood vessels, definitely that person will have hypertension. Apart from the fact that somebody may have a psychological problem, that people will say, oh, he thinks a lot, there is a kind of anxiety or many other things that increases blood pressure. The physiological problem, when we say physiological, it means something that affects the functions of organs in the body. So when this time around we are talking about the heart. So if there is physiological problem like the atherosclerosis, that is the deposit of fat in the blood vessels and so on and so on. So that one can cause blood to rise. So when you talk about that type, that is
Is that the
hypertension.
only cause? Deposit of fat in the blood, is that the only cause of?
When there is a when we say atherosclerosis, that is the inflammation of the capillaries, the blood vessels.
Okay.
So in that carries the blood into the heart or from the heart. So that is what we call atherosclerosis. And what causes that inflammation is because there may be deposit of fat there.
In the blood.
So that's
So
the
that it will
continuous
be
deposit of
impeding the
fat.
flow, the free
So
flow of.
that one will affect the heart. So definitely there is problem. That is what we call physiological that affect the functions of heart. So the other one that causes hypertension, like I said, is anxiety. That if somebody is having, there are different ways of anxiety, being anxious about things. Some people, when they hear bad news, the anxiety. Some people, when they are being anxious of achieving something, they are being too anxious of it. So the stress like
It will tell mentally the mental
so
stress
it
they are
will
going
affect
through.
the function of the heart and increase in the population. So those are the causes of hypertension. Then when we talk about hypotension, it's just the opposite. It's directly the opposite. That when there is decrease in the blood pressure, although that one doesn't usually occur, it is
Yeah.
very few among the people, but unlike that of hypertension.
Hypertension.
So that's just the difference. The difference is that one is high, the
And the
other
other
one
one is
is
low.
low.
But what?
Now, in
Okay.
that case of hypotension, the hypotension might be due to the low salt metabolism.
Okay.
Like, uh, when there is low salt metabolism, there may be a kind of that affects the blood, I mean, the heart to function very well. And
So
so it,
both have something to do with the heart.
yes. Both they have something to do with it. Except that the management of the two may be different. When I talk about the management, the treatment and the management will be different because one needs something to make it down,
And
one
the
needs
other one
something
to jack
to
it
raise it
up.
up. So that's it.
But sir, like you said that it could be due to low salt metabolism or so as in hypotension. Does it mean the person is not taking enough salt or what?
Uh, there are times there are certain things that happens at times that you say it is idiopathic, that is because it's unknown.
Okay.
It do occur at times that you may not even know the cause, but something has to be exposed to it that precipitates
The
the ailment.
sickness.
So when we talk about those things that have been disposed to it, then definitely one is aware that you have to be very careful about this thing that you disposed to it because both of them they are hereditary. That's one of the causes. Both of them are hereditary. So hereditary is part of the causes.
But sir, somebody very close to me was once down with hypotension, but then the doctor said it was due to stress.
Where I don't know what happened to that person because to me, I don't think stress can cause hypertension. I don't think so,
The doctor said
except it can be explained further. So that one will
because during
because
that
I don't
period the
think
person
stress. I
was
think
very busy.
although when somebody is having hypertension and you engage that person in a kind of exercise or being anxious about something, that one may worsen it.
Okay,
You
so
understand? You have to make sure before that person goes into exercise, that person, the BP has to be a little bit raised.
okay, so somebody who is already suffering from
And you are
hypotension
hypotension, you
should
cannot
not be
just go ask that
stressed.
person to go for exercise. No.
Because if a layman is to be allowed to advise somebody who has hypertension, because like you said that hypertension can be stress induced hypertension. So the person may be like, so far whoever is suffering from hypertension can engage
Engage in
in a,
stress.
yes, so that as to jack up the
When you notice that your BP
BP.
is usually low, but you have not gone into that kind of hypertension, but it's usually low,
Okay.
that person can try to have a little bit exercise.
Okay.
But when it goes into, like, if somebody BP is some people it's very normal with them when their BP is 90-60.
Okay.
For me, my usual BP, if it is one, if my BP goes into
90-60, but
yes,
is that not, that is reckoned as hypotension?
you cannot call that hypertension except it is not normal with that person.
Okay, so it is a
Because there are some
peculiar.
people who are very normal with 90-60, they don't have problem with 90-60.
So in a circumstance where
Some
you
people,
find
somebody
someone,
like me, if my BP goes into 120/80, I will be thinking of something.
while
And
it is
something is wrong
normal with some
because
people,
my normal BP is 110 or 170, 165. That's my normal BP.
so sir, are you now trying to say that you cannot really judge whether somebody is having hypertension
They
or
are borderline.
hypotension if you are not so
They
close to the
are
person?
borderline.
Okay.
Like in case of hypertension, the usual thing people will say is 120/80.
Okay.
Understand? But we have people who are very normal with 130.
So
130.
whoever has 138.
But this thing, like the other time when I was talking about the causes, age is another thing that increases the BPO. You cannot compare the blood pressure of somebody who is around 40, 30, 40 to somebody who is around 80, 70, 80. So it's very different. So age at times contributes to increasing blood pressure.
So now, sir, are you trying to tell me that if somebody who is aged 60, 70 comes to you for consultation and you check the BP and you discover that the patient BP is 130/80, will you adjudge the person as being normal?
138, age 70. Yes, I will judge. Unless that person is not normal with that BP. Maybe the usual BP is 110.
If you are coming, if
So I will
that's the
ask for the
first.
history
Okay.
of that person. It's very important to take the history of, when you want to manage anybody, ask for the history.
But sir, it is a pity that in the kind of country we are, people don't take their health issues seriously. I I want to say that it's because I have the opportunity of just walking into a center to check my BP. I don't even see it as what I should be doing. The first time I came around, what I do, and I have a reason for it, is I check my weight. That's one of the reasons why I come to health center often and often. I'll check my weight and go. Even if I had succeeded in getting weight at home, something to be, I wouldn't have been coming. So that day I just came. Mrs. Oyeyemi just asked me to check my BP. That was when she told me, your BP is somewhat low. You have be watchful. Go and do this and that. If not that she gave me a nudge, I would not have even thought of. So what I'm gunning at is that, sir, you said you asked the person of the history, the medical history, that how, what if he's not a kind of patient. What if the person is not the kind of patient, because like an average Nigerian,
That doesn't bother about checking.
It's not an average Nigerian, does not, like myself. It's not that I'm an illiterate, but if we are not sick, we don't deem it necessary to just walk into a health facility and.
Yes, because of the environment we are, that we find ourselves, we don't bother about checking our BP. Mostly about 80% of the Nigerian population doesn't bother in checking their BP. And that is where the education comes in. Education and counseling through the social media, through the other media like printing media or this other communication. So that is where it comes in, that we should educate our people to make sure they are checking their BP. But by and large, if I have such a person who has never checked
His
his or
BP,
her
or who
BP,
is not conversant with.
checking the BP, and for the first time the BP is high or low, I will try to study that person, to assess, let me say, not say study, to assess that person, whether there is a kind of symptom.
Like
Maybe he or
headache,
she presents
tiredness.
some symptoms. So through that symptoms, one can get what really happened. So you have to manage, because with the assessment you manage the person for that day, then you ask the person to come back the following day or
Okay,
to check the BP again. So,
true that.
so that through that you'll be able to get what is really happening.
Thank you, sir. But sir, it got to a period that I had to throw caution to the wind regarding my intakes, what I eat, because you discover, you'll be told by people, maybe let me say health personnel, that too much of salt intake is not good.
Very happy.
So,
If I think of
yes,
what
sir.
do you think of
Yes, sir. That too much of salt intake is not good. You have to be wary of eating red meat. You have to be wary of eating this and that. But now, for somebody who is suffering from hypotension, I'm not saying the person should take salt excessively. To the extent that when you tell people that too much of salt intake, some people would even almost eschew taking salt. They will be like, they will not eat outside because salt and maggi. But now somebody who is suffering from hypotension will be advised to take oral cell, and it contains salt, or add more salt, add salt to the water. So how can we strike borderline in, how can we stay middle course in what we eat?
in
How
case
can
of
we strike a balance?
in case of hypertension?
No, as in I know, according to, because I read magazines and books that are medical related, that are dietary related.
Yes.
So we are advised to eat vegetables, but still at times you be asked not to eat a kind of fruit because some could trigger diabetes, some could, and so I have come to realize that majority of the sicknesses we are having are dietary related or triggered.
Yes, you are right.
So
That's
how can one be eating normally without, you know going beyond this or boundary?
okay. Thank you very much. Exactly the dietary advice is very, very important in managing the BP, or even preventing having like hypertension or hypertension. So it's very, very important. Like the other time we were talking about atherosclerosis. That is when there is continuous deposit of fat in the vessels. You will see that that kind of person needs not taking something that is having too much cholesterol. You have to be very
Whoever is
careful.
suffering from hypertension.
Yes. So definitely one has to be very careful about fat intake. So when you take a you are very cautious about taking fat, then at the same time you have to be very cautious about the, taking salt. So the salt has to be minimum. So whereas the salt is very dangerous in hypertension, the salt is very beneficial in hypertension. So
So that means one has to know exactly that. But sir,
before one engage in a dietary therapy or dietary something, one has to know his or her health
status,
status. So when you know your health status, you know the kind of food you take.
you eat.
But
But
at
sir,
times, if people are saying, don't take this kind of food, or don't take this kind of food, you don't know that kind of food may be beneficial
beneficial to
to
your
you.
health.
So,
But sir, like you said that one should try to ascertain one's health status. What are the basic things that um, somebody can be doing that will make the person ascertain the health status from time to time?
uh, checking your BP, checking the blood glucose level,
That's diabetes.
To check whether somebody is having diabetes or the BP to check if one is hypertensive.
Okay,
Those
so
are very, very important.
the
But
two.
it is only here in the part of the world, I mean in Nigeria, that we do that alone. You know, in advanced countries, I have not been to advanced countries, but we hear what's going on there. In advanced countries, every 6 months they go for proper medical checkup where they will check everything, your internal organs, everything.
Hope that is not going to be on the high side.
No, if one the problem we have here is economy. It's probably economic problem. Because if you want to go for that here, you know how much you
That's
spend.
what I'm saying. That hope it's not.
So that's why I say in this part of the world, because of our economy, so we don't be able to check
So the two,
what.
glucose
But those two
level.
are very paramount.
Okay.
Very
So if there
paramount.
is anything wrong with the system, they can be pointers.
Yes, one can know through that so that one be able to.
God bless you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it because I know that you are tight for time because you are busy. God will honor you in Jesus' name. Auntie, please, can you spare me like 5 minutes? I want you to talk on because he has really done justice to the. But I want to see if, I mean, I want you to add one or two things to. Please speak out, ma.
Okay, I'm Aminu Omalabake, a nursing officer in Osunde College of Technology Health Center. So, as my boss has already said, on hypertension and hypertension, the two are medical conditions which need very, very care, which an individual needs to take proper care of in order to have a good health. Because then, and like you have said, diet, my dietary is very, very important in managing hypertension and hypertension. So, in hypertension, one needs to be careful in intake of fat, like I said earlier on. Then, in hypertension, uh, both are dietary
Induced.
induced. So, in hypertension, adequate sodium intake is also very, very
So
important.
hypotension too is dietary induced.
Yes, yes. But the two have to do it has to do with the movement of blood
Blood.
and along the blood vessels. So the
So
movement. So if there
hypotension
is
means that the blood is not flowing enough.
no hypertension means the blood is not flowing.
What of hypotension?
Hypotension is like there is no hypotension means that the blood is not flowing enough, but hypertension is there is occlusion in the movement.
Okay, it is impeded. It is
Yes,
blocked.
it has.
Okay.
That's very, very important. And you have said that age is hereditary and it's also age related. So what and prevention is always the best. You need to prevent hypertension and hypertension by regular checkup, monitoring the blood pressure, then the blood glucose also. Everything has to be in normal
But how
level.
how 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 regularly can one be checking one's BP?
If one doesn't have any abnormal blood pressure before, like once in a week is okay.
If you are not having abnormal, once in a week is
Once
okay.
in a week,
Really? Is
yes.
that not too much?
Once in a week, it's not too much.
So
It's not too much.
going to health facilities every week just because you want
It's
to
even very good if one can have the blood pressure at and learn how to
operate it. Okay.
so it's very, very important.
That's serious because somebody like me, I don't even see it as something that is necessary
Very, very
until
important.
oh my god.
Because it can because it can because of complications can lead to something serious.
So that it's not until when trouble erupts that you now start seeking the means of curtailing it, of solving the problem. God bless you, man. So what food can we be eating that can you know uh make us to have the adequate that can give us a normal BP?
Normal blood pressure
Food,
and
what sort of food? Diet.
food. When we are taking food, the all classes of food need to be present.
Okay.
Like you are saying that too much fat, too much once
No,
like
I'm talking. I'm asking for those, those who already have low BP or high BP. They will know the type of food. By consulting a medical personnel, they would have been advised. They would have been given medical advice that this is the kind of food you can eat. But somebody who doesn't have that problem, who has a normal blood pressure and wants to maintain it, so what sort of food can the person be eating?
okay, the adequate diet is very very important in our individual life. So like when somebody wants to eat now, or like we have like these classes of meat. The classes of meat to be balanced and
Adequate
adequate.
proportion.
When we are saying adequate, in terms of quality and quantity, it's also very very important. Like the carbohydrates, protein,
Bá ń pẹ́ ni tó ń
vitamins,
sọ̀rọ̀
and
yẹn.
oil, vegetables,
Báwo ni?
fat and oil, and water. Everything has to be in
Adequate
normal proportion.
proportion.
So that it's
Teslim.
balanced and adequate for our individual.
Teslim.
Um, I'm very grateful for the audience you have granted me. God bless you real good. I appreciate you. Despite the fact that you are busy, I appreciate you. God bless you real good in Jesus' name. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma. God bless you, sir. God bless you.